When I was in high school, I had a very eclectic group of friends. There was Harold, who was the son of German immigrants, really sharp in the sciences. Ravi, who was born in East India, but was a great buddy, and we played street hockey together almost every day. There was Michelle. She was a ballet dancer and a child of an Irish Catholic family. And then there was Bertie, and he was the craziest character I ever knew. He was always ready with a joke, a prank, or arguing something silly. I once spent 20 minutes with him, and he was trying to argue the case that if you were ever in a falling elevator, you could save your life by just timing it right. And at the last minute, if you just jumped up a little bit before the elevator hit, you would be just fine. I could never get through to him on the physics of that matter. We played poker together, and he was always calling the strangest wild cards, talking about one-eyed jacks and suicide kings and left-facing queens. Sometimes he would just make things difficult because he thought it was funny, and to be frank, all of us kind of thought it was funny too, so we played along. But the thing about Bertie is that he wasn't very reliable, and he didn't make very good life decisions. He wasn't very discerning. We tolerated it, and I thought one thing of him when he was just my buddy. I tolerated all that. But when he dated my sister, I thought something different about him. Is that friendship? What does it mean to be a friend? That's what I want to look at very briefly with you. What does it mean to be a friend? What does the scripture have to say about it? And as we find an answer, as we look at the Proverbs, we're going to see not only what it means to be a friend, but what it means for the Lord to be our friend. Now, it's interesting to note that humans live in community. Not unlike the Godhead, we have to be together. In this sense, we need each other. Sometimes we think of friendship as being based on common surface interest, but I think it's better to think of true, honest, real friendship as shared, mutual concerns. On the surface, mutual interests are things like our taste in music, our hobbies, whether it's gardening or cooking or home improvement. We share an interest in sports. You know, my friend from high school, we played cards together, we played street hockey together. And fun is an important part of friendship, and that can meet a need that we have. But there are more important and deeper needs. And true friendship can meet those needs: practical help, support in difficulty, advocacy. Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity." You know, we can come up with the best thought out plans, anticipate every possible thing that could happen, but rarely does life play out that way. We're hit with unanticipated problems, unexpected needs, and friends help us in our need. A brother is born for adversity, that unexpected, those challenges. And sometimes that need in the midst of adversity is just presence. On a spring evening a few years ago, I was driving on Chesterfield Parkway heading to a church event when right in front of me someone cut me off. They failed to yield, and I ran my car right into them. I T-boned them, and it was a very unnerving experience. I could see the person that I was about to hit. I could see the shock in their face. I hit their car, and it rocked on its side and kind of rocked back. We both got out of our cars. We checked on each other, and then we waited for the police to come. And I have to tell you, it was an unnerving experience. I was shaken. And as I'm there, just in my own thoughts, trying to keep myself together, my friend Justin just showed up. At least that's the way it felt to me. I had no idea that my wife had called some friends, and he was on his way over there. In my experience of that moment, he just was there. And I was so thankful. He stood and waited with me as we waited for the police, as we waited for the tow truck, as the tow truck came and hooked up my car and took it away. He was there with me as he invited me into his car and then drove me home. I didn't need wise words. I didn't need someone to solve my problem. In that moment of being shaken, I just needed someone to be with me, to not be alone. And my friend gave that to me. A friend loves at all times, born for adversity. You know what it means for someone to be a friend in time of need. You know what it is for the Lord to lay down his life for your needs. You, whom Jesus calls friend. But the question for all of us is, do we know what it is to be a friend? To be born to help in someone else's adversity. The Lord has done it for us. He calls on us by his grace, by his power, to be that for someone else. I pray the Lord will empower you to be a friend this week. Lord's blessings on you all.